me, you know, I was born and raised on a farm. You know, it's a multi-generational farm. This farm is. My dad was on, you know, raised on a farm too, a different farm, a vegetable farm. So it's kind of something that you know, it's in our blood. My parents have their land around us preserved. So what our goal is to get blocks preserved. And part of the reason for that is, you know, we just built a new hog barn. And so there's setbacks that we have to have for these livestock buildings. And it's getting to be harder and harder to find a location to build a building because you have to be so far away from homes and churches and schools and stuff like that. So you're running into fewer and fewer locations. You know, all the ground I only have a couple locations left where I could build livestock buildings. You know, you can't just build them, you know, 100 feet away from a neighbor's house. You know, you have to stay a certain distance away. Kind of built out in the middle of the field because we, like I told you earlier, we have to stay a certain distance from the livestock facilities. There's siting camps that we have to go through with the state. Generally accepted management practice, agricultural management practices. So they go through a whole siting process to make sure how many homes are within a certain distance, what direction the airflow is going to be, and the odor footprint. So where, you know, the winds are going to be, and make sure there's no homes within that distance. And so it's quite an extensive process. That way you don't have, you know, 5 years down the road or 10 years down the road, you don't have problems with your neighbors. So that, you know, there's computer models that they use so that if there is an issue, you know, with a homeowner, we can say, hey, we got stamped approval, we went through this siting games process, this location is a good location for a farm. Then that way, the state will back us if we have an issue with a homeowner. I just want to preserve and keep these areas rural, you know, keep them farmland, build houses where they should be built, you know, in blocks, you know, closer to the villages or towns or cities. And that way it keeps it safer out here for farmers and preserves what we're trying to do. You know, we're trying to grow food for all the homeowners.
Good. I hope this farm's going for another 5 generations. I have 2 kids of my own. My brother's got 3 kids, and we hope that this farm and all of the land that we farm can stay in our family for a long time, and we can keep growing crops on it and feeding America off of it.